This series has been so competitive. Both stars led their teams in scoring and assists. Chris, what'd you make of all the trash talking at the end of the game?
No, that's what LeBron was supposed to do. Steph was going to the hole. He tried to put it off the glass. LeBron smashed it. And LeBron said something to him.
Steph said something to him. According to the people at courtside, Steph said to him, "You couldn't let me have that."
Yeah.
And LeBron got angry.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's something that they've had in these finals going before. So, no, he ain't going to let you have no layup at the end of the game. You're still out here playing. LeBron should keep playing hard. I don't mind it because later on they talked and everything. They realize that they are the faces of the NBA. I don't mind the little trash talk. It was heated.
I don't mind it either. I totally understand why LeBron was upset in the moment because these guys are laughing and giggling. LeBron feels like he just got a stomach punch in the way the game was ending. And Steph's like, "Oh, you can't let me get that layup for the numbers?" Like, I understand why LeBron's immediate reaction, even though these guys are friendly off the court, would be like, "Man, miss me with that."
No, I told him, get out my face.
Get out my bleeping face.
All right, finally, LeBron. 51 points, the most he's ever had in a finals game, along with 8 rebounds, 8 assists. Nick, can you put LeBron's night into perspective?
Yeah, I mean, it is now one of the 3 best finals performances ever. Jordan's 55 points against the Suns in the midst of the best series Jordan ever played, the 93 finals against the Suns. A 61-point night by one of the most underrated players in NBA history, Elgin Baylor. And then LeBron's 51, 8 and 8. Of course, it's the first 50, 8 and 8 in finals history. It's the highest shooting percentage on a 50-point night in finals history. And it gave LeBron his 8th 40-point game of these playoffs, which ties...
This year?
This year. Of these playoffs. His 8th 40-point game of these playoffs. In his 19th playoff game this year.
It's got to be the best sequence of playoff series by anyone in NBA history.
It is trending that way. Right, so it's the most 40-point games in a playoffs ever. It ties Jerry West. And in the finals, LeBron now has more. Now listen to this. He has more 40-point games in the finals since he went back to Cleveland.
In 4 years.
In 4 years. Than Jordan had in his entire career. More 40-point games in the finals in these last 4 years than all of them, obviously, against this Warriors team, this great team, than Jordan had in the entirety of his career.
Even you probably couldn't have imagined. You knew LeBron had to, you and I talking privately, LeBron was going to have to play at a level once we started the Pacers series and we could see the back and forth. But there's no way you could have imagined 8 40-point games.
It's insane.
And potentially might have a couple more. To me, I told you, I was with Michael Jordan. I traveled with him. In that Phoenix series, he was unconscious. He was really, really unreal. This is the best that I've seen anyone play in the finals, and I would say in NBA history.
It's such a shame because if he had a legitimate number 2, can you imagine how much more competitive this would be? It would just make his life a little bit easier. He's doing this
2,
by himself.
A legitimate 3, a legitimate 4.
Here's the thing. While I would have liked, and I think C used the words properly earlier, the Cavs deserved to win this game. I would have liked Cleveland to win this game. LeBron not having a legitimate number 2 is why we're getting to see this version of him. The I have to do everything version of him. The guy that seemingly can't get tired. Like, if he was on a better team, we wouldn't see that. And I just want to remind the audience real quick, the last 3 playoff games LeBron's played. So an elimination game against Boston, an elimination game against Boston, and a game that he played like an elimination game, game 1. He's averaging 44, 11, and 9, while averaging 47 minutes played. The fewest minutes he's played in those 3 games is 46 minutes. Like, this 3-game stretch rivals almost any 3-game stretch he's put up in his career.
Do you think he'd rather have the numbers? Obviously, that happens when you have to single-handedly win games, or maybe numbers come down a little, stats come down a little, and make these wins a little bit easier?
Oh, LeBron just wants to win. He don't care what he has to do. He don't care if he scored 10 points, 60.
You don't think so?
Oh, no. Winning? LeBron's about winning. You think he wants to lose for the 6th time in the finals? He's got 3 finals wins. He potentially would have the 6th loss. Absolutely, Jenna. 4 more wins. That's what LeBron wants. The stats and everything, they're just a side conversation as far as LeBron James in his career.
And LeBron's stats, because of longevity, are going to be unimpeachable. The only part of his resume you're going to be able to poke holes in is the lack of titles. So if you're asking in this series, would he rather average 40 in a finals loss or 20 in a finals win? It would, of course, be the latter, but there's no path to victory.
They didn't get the win. but I don't know who votes on the final MVP. I'm just going to tell you, I think LeBron's going to win MVP. Just like Jerry West. If they lose this series, I still believe LeBron. It's going to be hard for KD, for Steph to be able to top what LeBron did, even though they did lose in game number 1, regardless if it's 4, if it's 5. Now, the longer the series goes, it increases LeBron's chances of being the MVP. But that is one of the things I'm going to be watching going to Sunday's game, game
All
number
right,
2.
let's take a deep